I'm Tammy Arender, and coming up on LA Rider, we're going to visit Louisiana's capital city and make stops at the old state capitol, the USS Kidd Veterans Memorial, and a whole lot more. This is LA Rider, and I'm Tammy Arender. Thank you so much for joining us. We are actually standing inside the historic Old State Capitol building in downtown Baton Rouge. This was once the seat of Louisiana government, and it is a treasure trove of history, art, and architecture, and it is #1 on our list of places to visit in the Red Stick. T.W. Robinson has more.
Louisiana's old state capitol isn't hard to find. Located on a natural bluff on the Mississippi River in the heart of downtown Baton Rouge, the building is a one-of-a-kind architectural treasure, often referred to as the jewel in the crown of Louisiana's historic structures.
Well, here we are, Louisiana's old state capitol. Wow, it looks like a castle.
The first thing you'll want to do when visiting the old State House is walk around the beautiful grounds and admire this unique building. Designed by New Orleans architect James Dakin and opened in 1852, it was completely gutted by fire during the Civil War and rebuilt in the 1880s. It has often been called the Castle on the River, and in fact, Dakin chose the Gothic design because he wanted it to be the people's castle. While the building appears to be made of stone, it's actually brick, covered with plaster and scored to look like stone. Much of the interior, like the ornate and massive fence, is made of cast iron. Once you've checked out the grounds, head for the main entrance on the northern side of the building. To really enjoy this incredible structure, you have to go inside.
Hello. Nice to see you. My pleasure. Thank you for coming.
Much for meeting me
Well,
here.
glad to do so and show you this magnificent building that is certainly a jewel of Louisiana and something we're very proud of, the old state capitol. A lot of history and of course magnificent in structure, as you're going to see as we walk through. So glad to be accommodating to you, and if you're ready, we'll go ahead and get started.
The first thing you encounter upon entering the old capitol is the magnificent cast iron spiral staircase. Many a Baton Rouge bride has had her photo taken here. The staircase takes you to the second floor, where the House and Senate chambers are located. But before you go any further, you will want to spend a few moments just looking up.
It's out this fabulous stained glass stone here.
Well, TW, we have over 2,000, and we were joking before that no one's actually really counted them, but to the best of our knowledge and records, over 2,000. And of course, this dome was added from the original building, and it is magnificent. As you can see with the light, it gives off different array of colors depending on the how the sunlight is outside or the mood outside.
On the western side of the floor is the old House chamber, painstakingly restored to its original grandeur in the early 1990s. The restoration was led by the late Fox McKithen, who was Secretary of State at the time. McKithen teamed up with a small group of preservationists and rescued the building from years of neglect. A lot of history was made in this room.
This is where Huey Long was voted to be impeached. Only go across to the Senate that we'll go in a moment. And that's where the infamous round robin occurred, where 15 senators signed their name in a circle and said, no matter what the evidence may be, we will not impeach Huey Long, or Governor Long. And of course, that ended the trial immediately. And then also in this very room is where Louisiana seceded from the Union. So a lot of history in this room.
Oh,
And if only the walls could talk.
Throughout the building, you'll also find state-of-the-art exhibits highlighting Louisiana's political history, like this talking governor's portrait.
You want to talk about or hear, and you can hear a history. Yeah, just touch the screen.
Welcome. I am Governor Henry Watkins Allen.
And so it goes through all
Well,
of the great state of Louisiana from 1864 to 1865. Before that, I was a colonel in the Confederate Army. I am buried right here, just outside the front door.
On the east side of the second floor is the old Senate chamber, now used as a multi-purpose ballroom and meeting facility. But there's a piece of the building's history on display right here. Remnants of the 1906 fire that destroyed much of the interior of this chamber. The old state capitol, by the way, is part of the Secretary of State's Heroes and Heritage Trail, which features 17 museums and historic properties throughout Louisiana. Visit enough of them, Schedler says, and you and your friends can spend a night in the old state capitol.
We have a little, what we call a passport, that if you visit our museums, you get a little sticker. And if you get 11 stickers, you get to spend the night in the basement here overnight with your group. And we've had several groups that have already done that already. We have bunk beds downstairs, and you get a night tour. You know, of course, there's a rumored ghost here in the old state capitol, and we actually depict one of those downstairs in a jail cell. And it's a good way to just encourage folks to start getting around the state and visiting each and every one of them, and it gives them a little game to play while they're at it.
When you come to the old state capitol, plan to spend a little time here. There's so much to see and do, and you'll certainly want to take it all in.
For more information on the Heroes and Heritage Trail, just go to www.sos.la.gov and click on the Heroes and Heritage icon. Stay with us. When we come back, there's more on downtown Baton Rouge right after this.